Welcome back to my channel, more specifically my Road to Pro series. I'm actually going to be taking you guys through a leg workout today, and I'm also going to be showing you my home gym setup. I did kind of make some improvements in terms of some of the stuff. We're not going to be using it all today because it is a leg workout, and I'll explain what I mean when I show you my setup and kind of what I have in terms of like my home gym or just kind of what I'm working with. I'm actually just getting into my pre-workout meal. So what I have here is I actually have some chicken that I made a couple days ago. I'm back on the meal prepping game. I just find that it's been really helping me stay consistent. So I just got some chicken that I cooked up. I think it was a total of 6 ounces of chicken, and then I got some sweet potatoes that were a little overdone that I did in the active fry, but they're still absolutely delicious. And I actually just put some, so this is sweet with heat. This is basically just like a very interesting flavor of mustard, I guess you would say. And it's really low calories. I think there's only 10 calories in it, so I used about 50 calories worth to put on it, and it just kind of makes your meals a lot less boring. And I've also got this, which is just some flavored water, I guess you would say, 0 calories in it, and I find that it just really helps the meals go down, because I don't know if you can kind of relate to this, but sometimes it's definitely hard getting the meals down when you're meal prepping, and I find by adding sauces and not being scared to do so as long as you're tracking them, also by having some flavored water, I think that really helps. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be finishing this meal, and then I'll be showing you how I convert my one bedroom apartment into my home gym. So this is the current space that I have. As you can see right now, it's decked out to kind of as a living space. So I'm going to show you kind of how I turn this space into my home gym. So the next clip that you're going to see is how I do so. So as you can see, I did bring out the stuff. That took me literally less than 5 minutes to set up. So it's extremely convenient. And like all I did, as you've seen, it was just move that table out of the way, and then it created some space. And then with all the equipment that I have, it's actually really, really good in terms of all the exercises, in terms of the bench. If you haven't seen the video on the bench, that was the last video that I put out. I highly encourage you guys to give that a watch. I actually made it myself for definitely under $100. And as you can see, it's very, very sturdy and works really well in push days and even pull days. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a leg workout today, so you're not going to see much of the bench today. But yeah, I want to go over some of the stuff that you see here. So starting off with the weights. So I was actually pretty fortunate enough to be able to find some at Walmart. As you've known and probably seen, I did start with those homemade 30-pound dumbbells. And honestly, they did the trick for the first little bit, and they worked really, really well. If you haven't seen that video as well, I showed you how to make your own concrete weights, and I actually made 2 30-pound dumbbells. But yeah, like they lasted pretty well for a bit. But then I just found some more at Walmart, Canadian Tire as I went. So I've been just kind of stocking up, and honestly, it's been awesome. My workouts have been that much better. So as you can see here, I have probably about 2, 4, 7, and then I have 2 over here. So I have about 9 10-pound plates, and then I have there's 2 5, so 4, and then 6. So I have definitely enough weights to be able to fit on these, and I highly encourage everybody that if you're looking into getting weights, instead of buying dumbbells because they can be extremely expensive, I highly encourage you guys just to buy the weights. These are just standard weights, so they're not going to fit on the Olympic bar, but they will fit around a 1-inch handle. So what I would recommend is just to buy and accumulate 5 10-pound weights. And I was looking for 25s because they would make a big difference for helping me increase the amount of weight I'm able to put on the spin lock, but I'll show you what I mean. So in terms of this is the spin lock. So how it works is basically you just take it off like that, and you can put the weights on, and honestly, it's awesome because you're able to kind of adjust it, and as long as you have the weights, I think I have up to about 60 pounds that I can just kind of put on this. I think this would fit 3 10s. 3 10s pretty good without having anything kind of hanging off the end. So I'm able to fit 3 10s, and if I were to buy it like a larger, I think this is the smallest one that you can buy. I found these at Walmart as well. I think these were only 25 bucks for both of them, and honestly they feel amazing. Like they're really, really good in terms of quality, and they're probably going to last. So as I mentioned, I would highly encourage everybody who's, instead of buying dumbbells, instead of doing that, I would recommend just buying weight plates, the standard weight plates, and then you're able to get right up to 60 pounds if you have 10s. And then in order to get above that, I would need some 25-pound plates. So if I had two 25-pound plates, that would obviously give me 50 pounds, and then I can start adding 10. So I could even go up to 100 pounds pretty easy and save a lot of money. So in terms of like home gym, in terms of starting your home gym, if that's something you're interested in, I would highly recommend going with these spin locks and these weights instead of forking it out for the dumbbells. So that's the setup that I have there, and honestly, like those 60-pound dumbbells that I'm able to make with the weights come in extremely handy on like back days, especially doing rows. In terms of chest press too, like dumbbell flat bench, this bench made a huge difference for being able to do all that, and then having the dumbbells heavy enough to be able to kind of get a workout in terms of aiming for a rep range has definitely helped. And then in terms of resistance bands, those are pretty basic. I would highly recommend that everyone would start there. If you just have your body weight, I would highly recommend that this is probably the cheapest option in terms of being able to upgrade. So I think I paid like $10. It was like $9.99 for each 10-pound plate, and then $4.99 for each 5-pound plate, which is much better than what they're charging like on Kijiji or whatever. So that's kind of why that's why I kind of didn't hesitate to buy them, and I will keep them too. So I do kind of plan to maybe start up a home gym eventually. So I will keep all this stuff. And then in terms of the bands, like I was mentioning, so I do have a couple different bands. These ones I haven't opened yet. These are a little bit heavier. I think this is the heaviest. This is like medium. And then this is the band, this is the light one, but this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a very thin band, but it's really good for like warm-ups and just anything that you really want to do. I find that having different bands gives you a lot of different options. And then this is like a looped band. I got this at Walmart as well. This is pretty good quality. I really like these for like pull downs and different like tricep extension exercises. Comes in extremely handy. So that's a really good band that I've been using. And then over there you've got your resistance bands. So as you can see, this is the one with the handle on it. So these come in extremely handy for rows and curls, lateral raises and stuff like that. And then I got some other gauges as well. So as you can see, I think the gray one's a little bit heavier. I'm not sure which one's the lightest, but I know the black one is the heaviest. So yeah, and then this is just a yoga mat, this purple mat that I've got just to kind of keep the stuff off the floor. And then there's my broomstick. I use that with the resistance bands. I find that like if you put this handle, if you've probably seen videos of me doing it before, but if you put the broomstick through these handles, you're able to create like a barbell or like a lat pull down or whatever you want to do. And that's really cheap. So I'd highly encourage everybody to get like a broomstick or a hockey stick. So that's that end. And then in terms of moving on over here, so as you can see, I picked up this flooring. This was actually found at Walmart. I think I paid $12 for both of those 4 pieces. I actually went down and got some more too that I didn't open. It's actually over here. So that's what it looks like. It's just flooring that you can put down. So in terms of the quality, I'm really happy with it. It allows me to kind of put my weights down without damaging the floor. I think you can see here, it's decently thick and it's pretty good quality too. Like I'm really happy with that. So it allows me to put my dumbbells on there so I don't have to worry about slamming the weights. And it also interlocks, so I'm able to take it apart and put it underneath my bed, which is good. So that's kind of where I store it. And then in terms of the weight bench, it sits nicely on that. That's kind of what I'm working with right now. That's my home gym setup, and honestly it's been working extremely well. I just kind of pieced this together over time. Like I think I started off with just the body weight, and then I went out and got some resistance bands, and then I did that for about a week probably, and then I decided, like you guys probably seen from some of my videos, I decided to make the homemade dumbbells. And I worked with those for about a week. They were really good for like shoulder press, chest press, even rows. So that 30-pound dumbbells was added to my resistance bands. And then over time, I just basically went down and kept getting weights and just accumulating the stuff, and it ended up just kind of adding up. And then I was lucky enough to find the dumbbell handles, and then I just kind of pieced this all together, and then I made the bench. So I'd highly encourage you guys just to piece it together. And if you do guys buy gym equipment, I would highly encourage you guys to keep it and don't sell it, because you never know when it will come in handy, and it's always good to have, because I didn't have all this before I started, so I definitely had to piece it together. So that's what it's looking like for now. So my pre-workout meal just digested, so I'm going to show you guys my leg workout for today, and I'm going to take you through that. Alright guys, so now you see my home gym setup. Like I said, we're going to be going through a leg workout today. So one thing I always like to do, especially with home workouts, is to really write it down. I find that if you don't write it down, you're less likely to kind of cut your workout short, skip some exercises, skip some sets. and stuff like that. So that's why I got this whiteboard. So for today's workout, we are going to be doing legs. So we are going to be training quads, hamstrings. We're going to be doing a little bit of glutes, one exercise, and we're also going to be doing some calf raises. So I'm going to go through the workout for you and show you kind of what I wrote down. So what we're going to be starting off with is we're going to be starting off with some Bulgarian split squats. We're going to be doing 2 sets of that. If I have to load it with a dumbbell, I will. If I have to do a band or whatever, whatever's going to be able to overload it. I'll probably do the first warm-up with just, that's another thing I forgot to mention, we are going to warm up with a quick dynamic warm-up as well. Whether or not you're training at home or at the gym, it's very important to warm up either way. So we will be doing a series of dynamic exercises before we actually dive into the workout. But we will be starting with some Bulgarian split squats. We're going to be hitting more of an upright posture for that, just so it's going to be able to work the quads. We don't really want, if we lean forward a little bit, we're going to be recruiting a lot more hamstrings and glutes, but whereas it's a quad focused exercise, so we're going to keep it that way by kind of having more of an upright posture. We're going to do 2 sets of that. And then we're going to take maybe about a 45-second rest, depending on how much we deem that we need. You can take up to a minute if you want, or a minute 30. And then we're going to move into some dumbbell goblet squats. But these are the variation that I'm using is 1.5 squats. So I'll show you what I mean in the video. You can see it from the video, basically what I'm going to be able to do with that. I'm just going down and I'm doing more of almost like a hold, or just like it's a 1.5 rep each time. So that's actually going to be 1 rep is 1.5. You'll see what I mean when I actually go into the exercise. But the dumbbell variation goblet squat allows us to kind of overload a squat a little bit. So I'm going to make use of those dumbbells and probably put the 60 pound on there to do that. Yeah, so we're going to be doing 2 sets of that, and then we're going to rest again. Then we're going to move into some seated band leg extensions. This one's really great. This one's going to mimic basically your seated leg extension machine at the gym. Honestly, I really love this. It's kind of like, I like incorporating, personally for me, I like trying to incorporate things that I would normally do at the gym at home to the best of my ability, or the best that I can. So that's why I like coming up with these different variations. So I'll show you, you'll see that once I move into it. But that's the seated band leg extensions. And then, as you can see, that's the blue. That's going to be our quad workout. It's going to consist of 3 different exercises. Then we're going to move into our hamstrings, and we're going to start with a hip hinge movement. So we're going to do some band RDL'S. That's actually going to be creating the resistance is actually by stepping on the band by doing them. So we're going to be doing 2 sets of that to target the hamstrings, and we're also going to squeeze at the top to really engage those glutes at the top as well. And then we're going to move into some single leg hip thrusts. I think like a barbell hip thrust variation is absolutely a must in like a leg program. So I really like including some type of variation of this, and since we don't have the weight or a barbell to be able to do it, I really like the single leg hip thrust. I find that that's a really good way to engage the hamstrings, to train the glutes, and honestly just make it more effective by isolating each leg at a time as well, which can be really beneficial. Unilateral training definitely has its place, and I think you should have 1 unilateral exercise in with every single workout. So that's kind of why I included that. Then we're going to move into some lying band curls, or this would be kind of similar to like a lying hamstring curl machine that you would see at the gym. So I'll show you that once I move into that. This is an awesome finisher to really isolate the hamstrings to make sure that they're finished off, and they definitely will be after all these exercises that we did before that, because we are engaging a little bit of hamstrings as well with the exercises. And then we're going to move into the final 2 exercises. So these are just going to be supplementary exercises just to add in to make sure that we've kind of hit all the parts of the legs that we need, and we've hit the lower body to the best of our ability. So we're going to be doing some band pull-through. So this would simulate like a rope pull-through that you would see at the gym. Basically just mimicking like a deadlift, I guess, to kind of like improve your lockout with the deadlift. There's lots of different benefits to this exercise, but honestly it's a great glute builder. So that paired with the single leg hip thrust is going to really train the glutes pretty effectively. So that's kind of the isolation exercise we're doing for the glutes. And then we're going to end it off with some standing calf raises. I don't really have a way to do them in the apartment here. I don't really feel comfortable kind of elevating on books or something like that. However, if you do have something like a surface at home, then you can definitely make use of it. You can do them without elevating your feet or your toes, but I like to kind of get that full stretch at the bottom and kind of simulate like a standing calf raise machine. So I'm probably going to go inside for that one and do that on a step. But yeah, that's going to be the leg workout for today. So as you can see, we've got a total of 8 exercises. We're going to be doing 2 sets of each exercise. So that's the summary, and I think once again, just to write it down, I think it makes 100% sense, especially when you're at home And if you really write it down like on a whiteboard or a piece of paper and put it next to you when you're working out, you'll know kind of like how you're progressing through the workout rather than winging it. I think winging it definitely has its place with home training, because if you're too structured, then it can definitely get demotivating sometimes. But I think most times writing down your workout, especially when you're training from home and you're doing a bunch of different exercises that you normally wouldn't, and it's easy to kind of forget which exercises you had in mind for different muscle groups because you don't have all that gym equipment sitting right in front of you when you're at the gym. So that's the reason why I like writing down the workouts. So yeah, if you guys are ready, then let's just dive right into the first exercise. so that's going to conclude the workout for today. As you can see, I'm still kind of out of breath. I literally just finished that last set of calf raises. I did skip one exercise. It was the single leg hip thrust. I was completely gassed after doing the RDL'S, and I just figured like I might as well conserve my energy. Instead of spreading my workout too thin, I just wanted to really focus on that the last portion of the workout, so I decided to skip it. But yeah, I hope everybody got value out of this workout, and definitely give it a try if you do have access to some of these like the resistance bands and the dumbbells as well. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, definitely invest in some gym equipment. It definitely goes a long way. Even when the gyms do reopen and you do go back to the gyms, it's always nice to have some type of equipment laying around. So that's kind of why I'm going to keep everything that I have, and I highly encourage everybody to do the same. I'm actually going to be catching my post-workout meal, which was going to be the same that you've seen as my pre-workout. So instead of the sweet potatoes, I'm actually going to have some cream of rice instead, but it's going to be also 6 ounces of chicken with that as well. And I do plan on doing a meal prep video in the future. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I can kind of show you how I meal prep my food. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and definitely give this leg workout a try. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. I do really appreciate it. I have a lot of great exciting content that's planned in the works that you definitely don't want to miss out on. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also turn on the bell notifications. I want to make sure you guys get notified every time I drop a new video, which is 3 times a week now. So that's every Sunday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. So you can expect uploads consistently 3 times a week. But like I said, I want to make sure you guys get notified. So turn on those bell notifications. And also do give the video a like. I appreciate all the support, and the feedback does go a long way. And I'll see everybody in the next one. Alright, peace out.